The morning started like any other coffee, sunlight, the faint sound of traffic outside my window. Then my phone buzzed. A single message. From Ethan. Maya, I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore. I'm with Lily now. I blinked. Once. Twice. No, I whispered, staring at the screen. That's not funny. My fingers trembled as I called him. He didn't answer. I called again. Nothing. My pulse pounded so loud I could barely hear myself breathe. I grabbed my coat and ran. My sister's apartment wasn't far. The whole way there, I kept whispering, "It's not true. It's not true." When I reached her door, I heard voices inside his voice. Her laugh. My heart stopped. I knocked once, hard. The door opened. Ethan stood there, barefoot, his shirt half buttoned. Lily appeared behind him, hair messy, wearing his t-shirt. "Tell me this isn't real," I said, voice shaking. Ethan started, but I cut him off. Don't call my name like that." Lily stepped forward, eyes wide. "I didn't mean for you to find out this way." "Find out what way?" I snapped. "That my boyfriend slept with my sister?" Ethan rubbed the back of his neck, avoiding my eyes. "It just happened. We didn't plan." "You didn't plan?" I laughed, though it sounded broken. "You just fell into her bed?" "Maya, stop," Lily whispered, tears forming. "I love him." Those 3 words sliced through me. "You what?" "I love him," she repeated, quieter now. "It wasn't supposed to happen, but it did." I stared at her. My own sister. The one I defended. The one I helped through every breakup, every mistake. "You love him," I said again, tasting the bitterness. "Do you even hear yourself?" "Maya," Ethan said softly, "we didn't want to hurt you." "Then what did you think would happen?" I asked. "That I'd send flowers? Bless your betrayal?" He sighed. "It's complicated." "No, it's not," I said. "It's disgusting." Silence hung between us. I could hear the clock ticking on her wall. Lily reached for me, but I stepped back. "Don't touch me." "I'm sorry," she whispered. "No, you're not," I said. "If you were, you wouldn't be standing next to him." Ethan's jaw tightened. "We didn't mean to fall for each other, Maya. You and I, we've been distant. I didn't know how to fix it." "So you fixed it by sleeping with my sister?" I shouted. "That's how you fix things now." He flinched but didn't deny it. I laughed again, but it came out hollow. "You know what's funny? I thought I knew you, both of you." Lily's tears fell freely. "Please don't hate me." "I don't hate you," I said quietly. "You have to matter to be hated." I turned to leave. Ethan grabbed my arm. "Don't walk out like this." I looked him straight in the eyes. "How else should I walk out, Ethan? Thank you for destroying me? Want me to smile for the memory?" His grip loosened. He said nothing. I opened the door, my heart hammering. Lily's voice cracked behind me. "Maya, please." I stopped just long enough to say, "You can have him. Just remember, you're keeping what I threw away." And then I left. The cold air hit my face like punishment. I didn't cry until I reached my car. Then everything I'd been holding back poured out: rage, heartbreak, disbelief. By the time the tears stopped, I felt empty. That night, I packed my things. Photos, clothes, every trace of him. When the last box closed, I whispered to myself, "This is how endings sound." And for the first time, silence felt heavier than any goodbye. The walls of my new apartment felt like strangers. Everything echoed: the fridge humming, the clock ticking, my own breathing. I sat on the floor, staring at the unpacked boxes. My phone buzzed. "Sophie," I whispered before answering. Her voice came through sharp and worried. "You sound like death. Are you eating?" "I had coffee," I said. "Coffee isn't food, Maya." "I'm coming over." "No, don't." She hung up before I could finish. Typical Sophie. 20 minutes later, she burst in, holding takeout. "You look like you've been hit by a bus." "Close," I muttered. "A betrayal-shaped truck." She dropped the bags on the table. "Eat first. Talk later." I shook my head. "I can't. Everything tastes like dust." "Then talk. What's there to say?" I stared at the floor. He chose her, my own sister. End of story. Sophie sighed. "You're allowed to be angry." "I'm past angry. I'm just empty." She knelt beside me. "You know what emptiness means. It means there's room to rebuild." "Rebuild what?" I asked. "My heart, my trust, both are gone." She looked at me for a long moment. "You loved him too much. Is that supposed to be my crime?" "No," she said softly. "But maybe that's why it hurts this bad." Silence. The kind that presses on your chest until you can't breathe. I finally spoke. Do you think they're happy? Her eyes hardened. Who cares? They deserve each other. I can't stop picturing them together, I said. Every laugh, every touch it keeps replaying, like a nightmare that won't end. Sophie reached for my hand. Then stop giving them space in your head. Let them rot in their own mess. I wish it were that easy. I know. She squeezed my hand. But you're stronger than this, Maya. I let out a bitter laugh. Strong? I cried in the shower this morning because the soap smelled like him. That's normal, she said. It means you still care. I don't want to care. Then promise me something, she said. Promise me this won't be the thing that breaks you. I hesitated. I can't promise that. Yes, you can. Her voice was firm now. Say it. I stared at her. My throat ached. Fine. I promise I won't let this break me. Good. She stood up, brushing her hands on her jeans. Now, shower, eat something, and throw out anything that reminds you of that jerk. Even the mug he bought me? Especially the mug he bought you. That almost made me smile. Almost. Sophie looked around the room, then back at me. You know, one day, you'll laugh about this. I shook my head. I don't think so. You will, she said, because you'll see how much stronger you've become. Her words hung in the air after she left. I sat there, staring at the half-empty room. For the first time, I whispered the truth to myself. They broke me. Then I paused. But not forever. The clock ticked again, slow, steady, alive, and that's when I made my promise real. I'd never let anyone destroy me like that again. The weeks blurred together. Coffee, work, sleep, repeat. Pain had turned into a kind of rhythm, and somewhere inside it, anger was born. My new job. I buried myself in deadlines. My boss said I had fire, but really, it was just the leftover heat from everything Ethan burned. One afternoon, Sophie called. How's the new gig? Good, I said. Busy. I like it. That's code for I'm distracting myself, she said. Maybe, I admitted. But it's working. Just don't explode, she warned. Bottled anger is dangerous. I laugh softly. I don't explode anymore. I simmer. That night, after work, I met Sophie for dinner at a small Italian place near downtown. We were halfway through our pasta when Sophie's smile froze. Maya, she whispered. Don't look, but your favorite disaster just walked in. My stomach turned cold. I looked anyway. Ethan and Lily, of course, they were laughing when they entered, fingers intertwined, pretending to be normal. Then Lily saw me and her laughter died. Ethan followed her gaze. His expression fell like a mask slipping. Sophie's voice was low. Do you want to leave? No, I said. Let's stay. I kept eating, even though the food tasted like ashes. Lily nudged Ethan toward another table, 2 rows away. I could feel their whispers prickling my skin. Finally, Lily stood and approached me. Maya, she said, her voice small. I didn't know you'd be here. It's a public restaurant, Lily. I didn't know I needed your permission. She flinched. Please don't make this harder than it already is. Harder? I raised an eyebrow. I'm not the one sitting with my sister's ex-boyfriend. Ethan joined her, hands in his pockets. Maya, maybe we should just what? I interrupted. Pretend this isn't pathetic? Maya, stop, Lily whispered. We didn't come here to fight. Then why are you here? I asked. Date night? Celebration of betrayal? Sophie kicked me under the table, murmuring, Maya. But I was past stopping. Do you two even hear yourselves? I continued. You destroyed everything and you act like I'm the problem for existing in the same room. Lily's eyes shimmered. We're trying to move forward. Good, I said, smiling thinly. Just don't trip on your guilt. Ethan's jaw tightened. You've changed. Yeah, I said. Turns out heartbreak is an excellent teacher. He looked away. We never meant to hurt you. Yet you did, I replied. And now you have to live with it. Congratulations. The silence stretched, uncomfortable and raw. Finally, Lily said, I'm sorry. I know, I said. But sorry doesn't fix broken trust. Or blood. They turned to leave, and I caught my reflection in the window, calm, steady, almost cold. Sophie whispered, You handled that well, did I? I asked. She nodded. You didn't cry. No, I said quietly. I don't cry anymore. As they walked out, I let out a long breath I didn't realize I was holding. My chest still burned, but it wasn't pain anymore. It was fire. Controlled, quiet, waiting. Revenge wasn't my goal. But karma? I could wait for that. I never realized how quiet healing could sound until I stopped checking my phone for his messages. The silence was strange, peaceful, but heavy. My therapist, Dr. Bennett, leaned back in her chair during one session and said, "You seem calmer today. I'm learning not to drown in my thoughts," I said. "That's progress." She smiled. "What changed?" I stopped asking why. "There's no answer that'll make it right," she nodded. "Acceptance doesn't mean forgiveness, Maya. It just means you're not fighting reality anymore." I scribbled those words in my journal that night. Not fighting reality anymore. It felt like something new was being built inside me. Slowly, quietly. T work. I focused on projects, deadlines, and surviving Mondays. That's when I started noticing Lucas, the new guy in the design department. He wasn't loud like the others. He observed more than he spoke. One evening, he stopped by my desk. "You always type like you're trying to prove something." I looked up. "Maybe I am." He smiled a little. "To who?" "To myself." He nodded thoughtfully. "Then you're winning." I laughed for the first time in days. "You don't even know me." "Maybe not," he said, but I recognized that look, someone trying to rebuild from ruins. The words caught me off guard. "You talk like you've been there." "I have," he said simply. "Different story, same ache." Something in his tone made me stop pretending. "Then you know how it feels to look fine and still fall apart inside." "Every day," he said. That conversation stayed with me longer than I expected. The next week, during lunch, he joined me outside. "You always sit here alone?" "Mostly," I said. "It's quieter than fake smiles in the break room." He chuckled. "I get that. People ask how you are, but they don't want the real answer." "Exactly," I said. "They just want to hear you're fine." "So," he asked, "are you?" I looked at him. "I'm getting there. That counts," he said, taking a sip of his coffee. His calmness was unsettling, not because it was cold, but because it felt safe. Like someone who didn't need to fix me, just sit beside me while I fix myself. That night, when I looked in the mirror, I saw someone I didn't recognize. My hair was different, my eyes quieter. I whispered, "Who are you becoming?" And the reflection didn't look broken anymore. A few days later, Lucas passed my desk again. "You look lighter today," he said. Maybe I finally exhaled. I replied, "Keep doing that," he said softly. "It suits you." His words lingered as I walked home under the fading sky. For the first time, I didn't feel like a ghost in my own story. The girl who cried over a man was gone. In her place stood someone learning to breathe again, someone finally looking forward instead of back. The knock came just after sunset. I almost didn't open the door, but the sound didn't stop. Soft, persistent, familiar. When I finally did, Lily stood there, makeup smudged, eyes red. "Maya," she whispered, voice trembling. I froze. "What are you doing here?" "I needed to see you." I leaned against the doorway. "Why? To brag or to confess?" She shook her head. "Neither. I can't keep it in anymore." Her hands clutched the strap of her purse like it was the only thing holding her together. "Say whatever you came to say," I told her. Tears slipped down her cheeks. "I didn't mean to hurt you." I almost laughed. "That's the first thing everyone says after they've already done it." "I swear, I didn't think it would go this far," she said. "Ethan and I, things aren't like they were." "I'm shocked," I said flatly. "He's changed," she went on. "He's distant, cold. He blames me for everything." "So he's still himself," I said. Her lip quivered. "You hate me, don't you?" "I used to," I said. "Now I'm not sure what I feel." She stepped closer. "Then please, tell me what to do." "I can't sleep. I can't eat." "Welcome to the consequences," I said quietly. "That's how it starts." "Maya, please," she sobbed. "I miss you. I miss us." "You miss the version of me who forgave everything." "That version's gone." Her face crumpled. "You're so calm. How can you even look at me?" "Because I already lived the worst part," I said. "Now there's nothing left to fear." She pressed a hand to her chest. "I thought Ethan was different. I thought he loved me." "I thought so too," I replied. "We were both wrong." Silence filled the hallway. I could hear her breathing unevenly, like every inhale hurt. "I didn't steal him to hurt you," she said. "I thought he was my soulmate." "Then you've learned," I said. "Sometimes soulmates are just lessons that break you." Her tears came harder. "You sound like you don't care at all." I looked her in the eyes. "Maybe that's what peace feels like." She shook her head, backing away. "I shouldn't have come." "Probably not," I said, softer now. "But I'm glad you did." She blinked. "Why?" "Because now I know I don't hate you anymore." Her expression twisted in confusion. "You don't?" No, I said. I pity you. Both of you. She let out a small, broken sound, part sob, part sigh. I deserve that. I didn't respond. She turned to leave. Goodbye, Maya. Goodbye, Lily. The door clicked shut behind her. I stood there, still. No shaking, no crying, just quiet. For the first time, I realized I wasn't angry. I was free. My peace didn't come from revenge or forgiveness. It came from letting go. When Sophie called that morning, I could hear the excitement in her voice. Maya, have you heard? Heard what? I asked, stirring my coffee. Ethan's company. Massive layoffs. Guess whose name was on the list? I leaned against the counter. You're kidding? I wish I were. Apparently, he messed up some big campaign. People are talking. I exhaled slowly. So, karma's clock is right on time. Sophie laughed. I told you. You didn't need to lift a finger. The universe keeps score. I don't even feel angry, I said. Just strange. Like I'm watching someone else's movie. That's what healing looks like, babe, she said. You're detached. It's power. I smiled faintly. Power feels quieter than I expected. Good quiet or bad quiet? Peaceful quiet, I said. For once, there was a pause. Then Sophie added, I saw Lily yesterday. My stomach tightened. Where? Outside the pharmacy near Main Street. She looked rough, pale, like she hadn't slept in days. I hesitated. Did she see you? She did. And guess what she said? Let me guess, she misses me again? She said she's scared of him. My grip on the mug tightened. Scared? Sophie lowered her voice. Apparently he's been drinking. A lot. Losing his temper. Throwing things. I stared out the window at the dull gray sky. And she stayed? She said she doesn't know where else to go. I sighed. That's not my problem anymore. I know, Sophie said gently. But I also know you, Maya. You still care. Caring doesn't mean I have to save her, I said. I already tried saving someone once. It cost me everything. She's your sister, Sophie whispered. She was, I corrected softly. Now she's just someone I used to know. The silence that followed felt heavy, but not painful, just honest. Sophie broke it first. You're stronger than both of them combined. You know that? Maybe. Or maybe I just learned when to stop bleeding for people who don't notice the wound. That's strength, she said. I smiled. Then I'll take it. Later that week, I ran into Lily by accident again. Grocery store, frozen aisle of all places. She looked smaller somehow, fragile. Maya, she said quietly. I nodded. Lily, did you hear about Ethan? I did. Her eyes filled with tears. He's falling apart. I'm sorry, I said. And I meant it, but not in the way she hoped. You really don't hate me? She asked. No, I said. I think I finally understand you. She frowned. What do you mean? You thought you stole happiness, I said. But you just borrowed my mistakes. Her lip trembled. I didn't know it would end like this. It never ends, I replied. It just changes who we become after. She nodded weakly. You've changed. I had to, I said. Storms don't scare me anymore. As I walked away, I realized I wasn't watching them fall apart. I was watching myself finally stand tall. The phone rang just after midnight. I almost didn't answer. Hello? My voice cracked from sleep. Maya, it's Sophie. Her tone was frantic. You need to sit down. What happened? It's Lily, she said. She's missing. The words hit like thunder. What do you mean missing? Her car was found near the lake. The police are searching now. I shot up from bed, my pulse exploding. I'm coming. Maya, it's late, I'm coming. I repeated, already grabbing my keys. The night air was freezing, sharp enough to sting my lungs as I drove. My hands trembled around the steering wheel. By the time I reached the lake, flashing lights painted the darkness red and blue. I spotted Ethan near the police tape, his face pale and wild. He turned when he saw me. Maya, where is she? I cut in. They don't know. His voice cracked. Her phone was found in the car, door wide open. Keys still inside. Was she driving alone? I demanded. He nodded weakly. We argued. I stared at him. You argued? She wanted to leave. Said she couldn't do this anymore. Do what? I snapped. Us, he whispered. Everything. My breath shook. So she walked out. And now she's gone. He dragged a hand through his hair. I didn't think she'd actually gone. Maya, what if something happened to her? Something did happen, I said. You broke her the same way you broke me. He flinched, eyes wet. Don't say that. It's the truth. The officer approached us. We'll start dragging the lake at first light. For now, we've got volunteers searching the woods. I'll help, I said immediately. Ethan started, but I glared. Don't. You don't get to stop me. We split into groups. Flashlights flickered through the trees, cutting through mist and shadows. I called her name until my throat burned. Lily, it's me. Please just say something. Nothing. Just the sound of the wind. Sophie caught up to me, panting. No sign? I shook my head. She wouldn't just vanish. She's impulsive, not suicidal. Sophie bit her lip. You don't think Ethan know? I said quickly, then hesitated. I don't know anymore. We searched for hours. When dawn began to creep through the fog, I found Ethan sitting by the shoreline, head in his hands. She used to love this place, he murmured. We came here once, before everything went wrong. I stood behind him. And now, she said the water made her feel free. His voice broke. What if she don't finish that? I said sharply. She's not gone. Not yet. He looked up at me, eyes red. You still care, don't you? I met his gaze. She's my sister, no matter what she did. And me? He asked softly. I swallowed. You're the reason she's missing. He lowered his head, silent. When the sun finally rose, the search team called us back. They'd found a shoe near the edge of the dock. My chest went numb. That's hers. Ethan's breath caught. God, please no, I didn't cry. Not yet. I just stared at the lake, its surface, calm, almost peaceful, like it was hiding the truth beneath. For the first time in years, I prayed, not for forgiveness, just for her to come back. 3 days later, they pulled Lily's body from the lake. The words didn't make sense at first, like they were spoken in another language. When Sophie told me, I just stared at her. No, that's not no, she reached for my hand. I'm so sorry, Maya. I shook my head, backing away. She's stubborn, Sophie. She wouldn't just. She didn't suffer, Sophie whispered. I laughed, but it came out broken. That's supposed to help? The funeral was small, too quiet. The kind of quiet that feels wrong, like the world itself is holding its breath. Her coffin sat at the front of the church, pale flowers wilting on top. I couldn't move closer. I stood near the door, staring, as people whispered. Ethan was there, hollow-eyed, unshaven, a ghost of himself. When he saw me, he hesitated before walking over. Maya, he said softly. I didn't look at him. Don't, please, he said, voice trembling. I need to say you don't need to say anything. I do, he insisted. You were right, about everything. I ruined her. I ruined you. I turned to face him. You think an apology changes that? No, he said quietly, but it's all I have left. I swallowed hard. You should have said that when she was still breathing. He looked down. I told her I was sorry that night. She didn't listen. She just kept saying she was tired. Tired? He nodded, eyes glistening. Tired of pretending to be happy. Tired of living in the mess I made. The words pierced through me. So she drove to the lake. I should have gone after her, he whispered. I thought she just needed space. I closed my eyes, my chest tightening. I thought karma would teach you a lesson, Ethan. I didn't think it would kill her. He flinched. Don't do that. Don't blame yourself. How can I not? I snapped. I wish for your downfall every single night. And look what happened. He stepped closer. You didn't cause this. I might as well have. My voice shook. You took everything from me, and I still wanted you to hurt. Now she's gone, and I can't even hate you anymore. He wiped his face with shaking hands. I loved her, Maya. I did. Just not the way I should have. Then maybe you never loved either of us, I said quietly. The priest began speaking, his words blending into a distant hum. People bowed their heads. I couldn't. When the service ended, Sophie touched my arm. You should go up. Say goodbye. I shook my head. There's nothing left to say. Maya, I already said goodbye the day she chose him. Sophie's eyes softened. That's not true. You loved her even now. I stared at the coffin. That's the problem, I whispered. Ethan stayed after everyone left, sitting beside the casket, mumbling words only he could hear. I watched from the doorway. Do you still hate me? He asked without looking up. I don't know what I feel anymore, I said honestly. He nodded slowly. Neither do I. As I walked out into the cold, the wind carried the faint scent of lilies, her favorite. For a moment, I thought I heard her laugh, distant, fading into the air. But when I turned around, there was only silence. It was a gray Monday when he walked into my office. I almost didn't recognize him. The confident man I once knew was gone, replaced by someone smaller, shoulders slumped, eyes hollow. Maya, he said softly. I froze mid-typing. What are you doing here? I needed to see you. This isn't a good time, I replied, standing. You can email me if it's about work. It's not, he said. It's about us. I laughed once, quietly. There is no us. He took a shaky breath. I made a mistake, Maya. I crossed my arms. You've said that before. I mean it this time. His voice cracked. I should have never left you. Everything fell apart after you. I stared at him for a long moment. You mean after you chose my sister? He winced. Don't say it like that. That's exactly how it was. I thought she needed me, he said quickly. She was lost, and I thought I could fix her. But she was never you. I stepped back. Don't do that. Don't turn her death into your confession. Tears welled in his eyes. You think I don't hate myself? Every morning I wake up wishing I'd done things differently. You should, I said coldly. Because you can't undo it. He ran a hand through his hair. I'm not asking for forgiveness. You want me to make you feel better, I interrupted. To tell you it's okay. But it's not. It never will be. He swallowed hard. I don't deserve you. But I still love you. The words hit like an echo of a life I'd already buried. You love the idea of me, I said. Not the person who had to rebuild herself from your ruins. He stepped closer. I see you now, Maya. I see the strength, the calm, everything I was too blind to notice before. I shook my head. You're too late. His voice broke. Please, just give me one chance. Let me prove. I've changed. You haven't, I said softly. You're still chasing what you lost instead of learning from it. He looked at me, desperate. So that's it? After everything? You won't even try? I already tried, I whispered. For years, I begged the universe to make you love me enough. Then I begged myself to stop loving you at all. He wiped at his face. And did you? I hesitated. Yes. The silence between us was heavy, final. He took a deep breath. I'm sorry. I know. He looked around my office, the books, the photographs, the faint scent of coffee. You're different now. I had to be, I said. Because you left me no choice. He nodded slowly, defeated. Goodbye, Maya. Goodbye, Ethan. When the door closed behind him, I felt no anger, no pain, just stillness. The kind that comes when a wound finally scars over. And for the first time, silence didn't hurt. It felt like peace. The envelope came on a Wednesday, plain, unmarked, except for my name. I almost threw it out. Then I saw the handwriting. Lily's. My hands went cold. Inside was a small notebook, edges worn, a faint lavender scent clinging to the pages. A note slipped out. Found this among Lily's things. She wanted you to have it. Emma, her roommate. I sat on the couch, staring at the diary like it might burn me. When Sophie called later, I whispered, her diary came in the mail. She went quiet. Are you going to read it? I don't know if I can. You should, Sophie said gently. Maybe it'll help. I hesitated, then opened it. Her handwriting was the same soft, slanted, familiar. The first pages were ordinary. Grocery lists, little notes about work, about Ethan. Then the tone shifted. I read aloud, my voice trembling. He doesn't look at me the same anymore. When he touches me, it feels forced. I think he still loves Maya. Sophie inhaled sharply through the phone. Oh God. I kept reading. Sometimes I see her in my dreams. She's standing on the shore, and I'm drowning, and she doesn't move. Maybe that's what I deserve. Tears blurred the ink. Maya? Sophie's voice cracked. Do you want me to come over? No, I whispered. I need to do this alone. I turned another page. He blames me for everything now, for losing his job, for drinking, for being unhappy. I thought love could fix broken people. I was wrong. I shut the diary for a moment, pressing it to my chest. She was just a girl, I murmured. Sophie was silent. I opened it again, near the end. The last entry was short. My throat tightened as I read it out loud. Maybe Maya was right. Some love destroys you. And once it does, nothing grows there again. The pen mark trailed off like she'd stopped mid-thought. I couldn't breathe. Sophie spoke softly. She loved you, Maya, even when she didn't know how to show it. I know, I whispered. But I never told her I forgave her. She knew. No, I said, shaking my head though she couldn't see me. I think she died believing I hated her. Sophie's voice broke. You can't change that. I can't change anything, I said, wiping my face. But I can stop letting it destroy me too. I closed the diary carefully, like it might shatter if I breathed wrong. When I looked out the window, the sky was streaked pink and gold soft, forgiving colors I hadn't noticed in a long time. She finally gave me closure, I said quietly. Sophie exhaled. What will you do now? I smiled through the tears. Live, the way she couldn't. It started with a text. Ethan, can we talk? Please. I ignored it. Then came another, and another. When he showed up outside my office, leaning against his car like a ghost from another life, I froze. Maya, he called out, voice trembling. I just want 5 minutes. I sighed. You had years. You wasted them. I was stupid, he said, stepping closer. I didn't know what I wanted back then. And now you do. He nodded, desperate. You, always you. I almost laughed. That's convenient considering she's gone. His face twisted in pain. Don't say that, please. I crossed my arms. You think I don't miss her too? But missing her doesn't erase what you did. He ran a hand through his hair. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I see her everywhere. And you, God, I see you every time I close my eyes. That's not love, Ethan. That's guilt. He looked at me like I'd slapped him. I'm trying to make things right. You can't, I said softly. Some things don't get fixed. They just end. He followed me as I walked away. Maya, please, I spun around. Stop following me. My voice cracked. You don't get to show up now and decide to be sorry. He looked broken, smaller somehow. I need you to forgive me. Forgiveness isn't something you earn by begging. He swallowed hard. Then what do I do? Live with what you did, I said. The way I had to. The silence that followed was thick enough to choke on. Later that night, I told Lucas everything over coffee. He listened quietly, as steady. He's crossing lines, Lucas said finally. If he keeps showing up, you need to set a boundary. He came to my therapy session yesterday, I admitted. Lucas's jaw tightened. That's not love, Maya. That's obsession. I know, I whispered. But part of me still wants him to hurt the way I did. He leaned forward. He already is. You don't need to add to it. I looked down at my hands. Then why do I still feel angry? Because you're human, he said simply. Anger doesn't disappear. You just stop feeding it. I sighed. I thought I had. You did, Lucas said. He's trying to pull you back into the fire. Don't let him. The next day, Ethan waited outside my therapist's office again. Maya, he said, voice breaking. I just need closure. I stared at him for a long time before speaking. You didn't just lose me, Ethan. I took a breath, steady, final. You destroyed yourself. He blinked, eyes wet. I know. For the first time, I believed him, but it didn't matter anymore. I walked away without looking back. The sound of his sobs followed me into the quiet evening, fading with every step. Are you sure about this one? Lucas asked, setting the last box down on the wooden floor. I smiled, brushing a strand of hair from my face. Yeah, it feels quiet. I like quiet now. He chuckled softly. That's a first. I used to hate silence, I admitted. Now it's the only thing that doesn't lie to me. He leaned against the wall. You've come a long way, Maya, have I? I glanced at the blank canvas resting near the window. Some days, I still feel like I'm starting over. That's the point, he said. Starting over means you survived. I exhaled, letting the sunlight hit my face. Surviving used to sound so small. Now it feels like victory. Sophie arrived later, arms full of groceries. New place, new energy, she announced. Also, new snacks, because I know you forget to eat when you're unpacking. I laughed. You act like I'm 5. You act like you're 70, she shot back. You need color in here, not just white walls and broken dreams. Lucas smirked. She's not wrong. I rolled my eyes. Fine, I'll paint. Sophie's expression softened. You mean it? You're actually painting again? Yeah, I said, staring at the canvas. It's been years, but I think I need to. She smiled. Then paint something that makes you feel alive. I picked up a brush later that night. The first stroke was shaky, hesitant, like breathing after being underwater too long. Lucas watched quietly from the couch. What's it going to be? I don't know yet, I said. Maybe a sunrise. Or maybe just light trying to break through. He nodded. That sounds like you. The sound of the brush against the canvas filled the room. I felt my chest loosen, my heartbeat slowing to something peaceful. Sophie came up behind me. You look happy. I'm not sure it's happiness, I said softly. Maybe it's just peace. That's better, she said. Peace lasts longer. I smiled faintly. You're starting to sound like my therapist. Then she's doing her job, Sophie replied, nudging me. When they left, I stood alone in the half-finished apartment, surrounded by boxes and the smell of fresh paint. I stared at my first painting, messy, bright, imperfect, and felt something I hadn't in a long time, freedom. I whispered into the quiet, I'm still here, and for the first time. It didn't sound like a reminder, it sounded like a promise. It happened on a Sunday morning, the kind that felt too calm to carry ghosts. I was at the cafe near my new apartment, waiting for my coffee, when I heard a voice behind me. Maya? I froze. That voice used to unravel me. I turned slowly. Ethan stood there, looking smaller, his eyes tired, his shoulders hunched beneath a worn jacket. He forced a smile. You look different. I said quietly. It's been a long time. He nodded. Yeah, too long. His voice cracked a little. How have you been? Better, I said simply. He tried to laugh, but it came out hollow. You always did know how to say the right thing. I tilted my head. And you always knew how to say it too late. He looked down. I deserved that. Probably, I said. But I'm not here to throw stones, Ethan. Not anymore. He shifted awkwardly. I've been trying to fix myself. I'm sober now. Working again. It's not easy. I'm glad, I said, and meant it. He blinked, surprised. You are? Yes, I replied. You needed to find something worth living for. His voice softened. That used to be you. I smiled faintly. That was never my job. He looked away, jaw tight. You really don't hate me anymore, do you? No, I said. I did. For a long time. But hate keeps you tied to someone. I cut the rope. He stared at me for a long moment, then whispered, I'm sorry, Maya. I know, I said. And I believe you. He took a hesitant step forward. Can we ever know? I interrupted gently. We can't go back. And that's okay. He nodded slowly, eyes glassy. You seem peaceful. I am, I said. You replaced me once, Ethan. I paused, meeting his gaze. But now, I've replaced the pain with peace. He swallowed hard, then whispered, I'm happy for you. I smiled. You should be. We both survived what we destroyed. He gave a faint nod before turning away, disappearing into the quiet street. I watched him go without bitterness. Just a soft ache that no longer controlled me. The breeze touched my face, warm and forgiving. I whispered to myself, the past didn't define me, it shaped me. And for the first time, I truly believed it. I didn't need revenge. My happiness was enough.